Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Leeds have just won 3-1 away at Wolves, taking us up to 9th position in the table. Fantastic result for Leeds, but before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit that big button down below. And as well as that, if you go to the link in the description down below, you can shop the official Leeds United store and I will get a small affiliate kickback at no extra cost to you. And if you do, use code MATCHDAY at checkout, and I think you should get 20% off this season's Leeds kits and the Adidas Originals range and all that sort of thing as well. So, Leeds United have just won 3-1 after a poor start to the game where Leeds conceded early on. In fact, do you know what? I'll take that back. It wasn't a poor start to the game in terms of our performance, because right before that first goal we conceded, Gabriel Goodmanson, with a little 1-2 with STACH on the edge of the box, perfectly weighted pass from STACH for the 1-2. Goodmanson cut the ball right across the face of goal. Calvert-Lewin had decided he was going to make a front post run, which is fine because that might be where he's expecting the ball to go. Nobody was at the back post to tap it in as it rolled agonisingly across the face of goal. Nightmare. We could have been 1-0 up. Then we concede the goal. Now, the goal itself was actually poor defending, and I'll kind of talk about it a little bit because I do feel that Leeds could have defended it so much better. And the reason for that is, if you watch it back, the ball's out on the left-hand side and Strauch gets sucked towards that a little bit. What Strauch should do is tuck in slightly, which will allow Rodon not to have to follow the striker for Wolves. Let me just find out what his name is by pressing this. Oh no, I took him off, even though he didn't actually come off. Anyway, the one they signed from Ghent in the Belgian league, he basically ran away from the box, dragging Rodon with him, opening up a space behind Rodon for Krejci, the midfielder, to run into. So Rodon got dragged out of position. If Strauch had gone tucked in slightly, he could have done that job, which would have meant that Rodon could have still protected the edge of the box and not had that gap open up behind him. So there's a little bit of miscommunication, a bit of poor defending, and Krejci, who is a defender by trade but has been playing in midfield for them, was able to get through on goal and finish past Darlow. Nothing Darlow really could have done about that. So it was frustrating because we could have been 1-0 up before that. But Leeds didn't at any point, I don't think, look down and out, didn't look defeated. And I think what we did well is didn't really let it affect us mentally at all. We came straight back into the game. We were able to take the game to them, and eventually it resulted in our first goal. Ball out on the right-hand side. Jayden Bogle crosses the ball, deep ball in towards the back post, and this is what you want from Calvert-Lewin. He finds himself in a position between two defenders. Now, if he kind of runs in front of the defenders towards the front post, he doesn't get that ball, but he kind of positions himself between two defenders so that both of them are a little bit like, the guy behind me is going to deal with it, and the other one's like, the guy in front of me is going to deal with it. And eventually Calvert-Lewin is able to rise higher than both of them, between them, and get on the header. And might I say as well, really, really good finish from Calvert-Lewin. Like, proper striker's finish as the ball is dropping out of the air. If Shearer's on Match of the Day tonight, he'll be absolutely waxing lyrical about that finish, because the ball drops right over the defender's head and he's just able to loop it over the defender right into the side netting. Unsavable header. Really, really good. He does have to generate a bit of the power himself as well, Calvert-Lewin, because it is a little bit of a loopy cross from Bogle. Really good cross from Bogle though, and Calvert-Lewin finishes it off. Next goal, Leeds are again trying to attack and continue. We didn't drop off when we went 1-1. There were periods where Wolves came into the game a little bit more, but I think Leeds didn't really ever look like they were going to back off and stop trying to score goals in that first half especially. But the ball gets played into Calvert-Lewin, really good ball into him, and he's running towards the box, and I think it might have been Krejci. He puts a shoulder, he doesn't go shoulder to shoulder, he puts his shoulder basically between the shoulder blades of Calvert-Lewin and just knocks him over. And when it comes to the free kick, Anton Stach goes goalkeeper side and just smashes it in the top corner. Unbelievable goal. And I think it really rocked Wolves to have been 1-0 up and then just to go 2-1 down. And they just, a few minutes later, gave the ball away to Anton Stach, who's already on a goal, who then slots the ball into the path of Noah Okafor out on the left wing, who just slots the ball under Jose Sarr. Jose Sarr potentially could have done a little bit better with that one, but regardless, it was a really good finish from Okafor. So that's Calvert-Lewin, Stack and Okafor all getting their first competitive goals in this game. And whilst one of them was, yes, a set piece, we've scored 2 goals from open play now when we hadn't scored any goals from open play in our first 4 fixtures. So again, really, really good. Taking the goals out of it, looking at the actual performance defensively, we were rock solid. We really were. It didn't really ever look like we were going to concede at any point. And when it did, Karl Darlow came up with a really good punch, a really good catch. He had some really good saves as well. Players throwing their body in the way of shots to block them so that they kind of bounced harmlessly through to Darlow. I thought defensively, Rodon and Strout were fantastic. Goodmanson, again, was really, really good. Bogle was good again, but Bogle did get injured towards the end of that game. So James Justin came on, and James Justin did fine when he came on. But I think Bogle's injury is going to be for a little while, so I might be relying on James Justin for a little bit at right back. In terms of the midfield performances, Ampadu, again, really, really good. Solid, getting back, dropping into the back line, defending. There was a shot from Menezzi at the end where Ampadu was just on him so quickly to stop him shooting, and it actually ended up in a goal kick in the end because Ampadu kicked it off Menezzi and it ended up with a Leeds goal kick. So I think Ampadu was good in there. Stack, again, Stack up there with man of the match, definitely. I think he had a really good game as well as Calvert-Lewin, but Stack, yeah, goal and an assist, and not only that, he carried the ball forward well. He was always supporting the winger to give them a little bit of an extra option. Now, we talked about this kind of lack of creativity that we have, and sometimes you can look at it and go, oh, well, are we just going to look dead isolated out on the wing when the ball goes out to Okafor or to Aronson? Are we just going to be really isolated out there? But I think what Stack did especially well, Longstaff did it a little bit as well, but I think what Stack did especially well is he drifts out to the wing. He gives that option of a pass that is not too far back, but he kind of drifts inside to the half space a little bit, which means that, say, Okafor's got the ball and he's kind of looking this way and that for an option. You've got Goodmanson on the overlap and you've got Stack inside, so you've got those options to try and create something. So I think that's really good about Stack's game today as well. Carried the ball well, good tackling, defensive work. Longstaff similar, but not maybe quite as good. And then Tanaka came on for him and did a lot of running, trying to press people. Aronson, I genuinely thought Aronson was quite good today. I don't think he was amazing, but I think he and I think I said the statement on my stream. I said that putting him on the wing, I think, takes a little bit of pressure off him. It allows him to kind of play without that expectation that he's got to be the guy to create everything. He tracked back well. He won Leeds a lot of free kicks in defensive areas where it really took the pressure off. Wolves would foul him and they would fall into his trap every single time. Foul him, Leeds would get the ball back and the pressure would die down a little bit from the Wolves' attack. So I think that Aronson did really, really well at that. And at times attacking as well, he made some good decisions and played some good passes. So I thought he was decent. Okafor, I think he's getting better and better as we see him. I think he was decent against Fulham. And I think I said at the start of this game, I wanted to see a little bit more from him in terms of that. And I think he showed us that today. I really do. I think he showed us a good performance. I think he showed us he got himself a goal. There was times where he gave the ball away, but when I'm looking at a player like that, I'm thinking, yeah, sometimes you are going to give the ball away because you are going to be taking risks. At times, some of them weren't risks and they were just poor passes, but that happens, and I think he's getting better and better as his time at Leeds goes on. So I'm pretty happy with the way that Okafor played. That brings us on, last but not least by any means, Calvert-Lewin, who would have been up there with my man of the match. Really good header for his goal, like I described earlier. And then in terms of his actual all-round play, it was a very good striker's performance, bringing in people around him with his hold-up play, making good runs, opening up spaces for his teammates in front of the opposition. And I think all-round he had a good game. So, look, very, very positive signs to take from this Leeds game. We won 3-1, we're up to 9th, 3 points and a +2 goal difference. You cannot ask for much more than that. 7 points after 5 games. It could have been 8 if we just didn't score that own goal last week. but we move on to the next one with a very, very positive attitude. Thanks for watching Leeds lately. If you're new here, like I said at the start, make sure you hit that sub button down below and check out all the links in the description as well. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I shall see you in the next one.